In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to create an action directly to Slack to get the history for a specific channel. So what we're going to do here is open up Xerion Dataflow Automation, and then from here you're going to create a data flow. So I already have one created here. I'm just going to send some data into this webhook. So let's send this data in. Now, if we look at the data here, we're going to see that it is the channel name. So whatever name I put in here, and then the channel ID. Now the channel name is not as important, but the channel ID is very important because we're going to be using this in the API request to get everything about that specific channel. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go under Actions and choose HTTP request. And what we're going to do is we're going to give this a name, so I'm going to call this to Slack. So in our data flow map, it looks like you can know what data flow it's going to. And then in the request URL, this is where we need to go to the API documentation of Slack. So that can be found at api.slack.com/web. And if we scroll down here, we're going to keep scrolling down about halfway down the page, and you're going to see a list of methods here. So in our scenario, in our previous video, we set the scope to be channels, and we can look at the history of the channels. So we're going to go under channels here and run the channels.history. So if I choose this channels.history, this is going to show us the entire URL here, right? So we have our method, our get, and our accepted content type. So let's first copy our method URL. I'm going to paste that into here. And then we want to choose a connection. So we want to choose our Slack connection down here at the bottom. And we have a request method. So let's see what our request method is. It's going to be get. And we'll select the get, and our content type can be application form URL encoded, so let's choose that. And then after this we need to specify a parameter in here for the channel itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to here, and in the URL I'm going to put question mark to start our parameters and put channel is equal to, and then we're going to actually use our channel ID from the data. So I'm going to do record.channel ID. Now at this point it's going to use all of this as the URL, and then this part will be dynamic based on what your channel is. So before, the channel I used was actually, I'll paste it right up here just so we can see it. This was the channel channel ID. So that's what's going to be populated into there. Now after this you don't have to worry about any of these other things, header or post body. We're not going to set up those today. What we do want to set up is the event. So when we set up an event, we're going to see upon success or upon failure what the response looks like. So I'm going to call this success. And inside of here, we're going to change on line 7 the ID to record or response, we'll call it. And then we want to remove this, and what we want to do is we want to use the following syntax. Bracket, then JSON, then record.response. Now if you use record.response, that's going to return the response that comes directly from the Slack API. Then we want to do the same thing here for fail, and we don't have to worry about the failure here, but we'll put in the same code here down here in the failure. And after we're done, we can hit save, and what we're going to see is it's going to create our action here and then the 2 events off of this. So what we can do is we can submit some data through here. So this could be submitted through your device, or you can rerun the data from here, but I'll just submit it. So I added in a new record here. It went to our Slack action, and we see we have 1 result in this success here. So if we go to the record data, we're going to see that we got a nice long response here. So let's scroll down to where we can actually find what the record data is going to look like. There we go. So if I click this, we're going to start viewing our information. So again, we see we got a response, and then it shows all the messages here. So here is a message that we got earlier today. Here's another message, and it talks about the name of the message or the reaction that we got, as well as the list of users who commented on that. So again, this is going to return 100 of the most recent messages. If you want to get stuff from a different channel, you'd pass in a different channel ID. So hope this is helpful in seeing how to connect and get the history of a specific Slack channel. Thanks for watching.